What an absolutely epic afternoon. There's been a black Redstart at Crossness for I think a few days now. I've looked back through the WhatsApp group to see who's responsible for finding it, but bumped into some birders from the local group and they said it's a different one, the markings are different, so there might be more than one male. But there was a male and female there today. And yeah, just I got my fill of shots. I used the pre-capture mode to get loads of flight shots. I videoed it first, made sure loads of video, because I'd never got a... Did I get any black Redstart footage in Faro? I'll have to look back. I know I got some photos, but I've got to be somewhere for a lunch date at 2:30. Otherwise, I'd probably sit there all day just trying to get that epic shot, even though I probably have one of my best ever shots. I'm going to have to get home and clean it up a bit because there's a little bit of heat haze and high ISO, but I was trying to... Sorry. I don't know what's wrong with my throat, but I was trying to capture it in flight. Got more of the male than the female. I think because when I was focusing, I noticed that the female being lighter, my camera's autofocus was having a bit of trouble and kept going to the reeds behind. But as soon as I moved to the male, no problem. This big black bird, big black, it's not big, is it? But when it was filling the frame, it was a big bird. And I was firing off loads of shots. And it wasn't until, I mean, it happens in a blink of an eye. I mean, so fast you can't see it. I think, oh, I did catch that in flight. And when I look through, there it is with its beak open and a fly in front of it. And it's pretty, I mean, I'll clean, like I said, it should look good after I've now cleaned it up. But that's one of my best ever photos, I think. Bit of a shame about the wooden plank behind it from the fence. But what can you do? If I was a cheater, I'd Photoshop that out. But when it comes to photography, I'm quite strict. A couple of small edits, crop it, maybe adjust the levels slightly. But once you go too far and remove things, it's not a photo anymore. It's just made up. And that's just the way I look at it. You're taking a photo of what you see, what actually happens. Lots of stuff there anyway. So, I mean, the closest of the two birds I got was the female. That was the sharpest. They quite low ISO and low shutter speed. It landed on the, it actually landed about 5 feet to my left on the top of the stable, saw me and landed on the fence, and it was close enough for a really good shot. Male, relatively close, the male came relatively close. And yeah, whoops, sorry, just trying to make a noise and scare everything. Just keeping a lookout because there could be other goodies that I'm not paying attention to. There could be wheat here and things like that. Anyway, that was just one of the best things, the best experiences I've ever had. A lot of the birders got down there, must have been down there from earlier in the morning. So after about 15 minutes, they'd gone and I was free to sort of move around. Sorry, I shouldn't be talking with gum in my mouth. But yeah, so there I'm just putting loads of photos and bits of video over for you to see, using the 4K crop mode, be able to take a few seconds here and there, make it look good. Hope you enjoyed that. Oh, that was very exciting. I just finished a couple of vlogs inside the hide and I came out here and I thought it was a chaffinch, because that's what you usually see as a female chaffinch that hangs around this area at the front of the protected area across Ness. And yeah, it was that one there. Bird landed in that tree. There was a car in front of me, so I pointed my camera at it, waiting for it to take off, and it was a greenfinch, male greenfinch. Quickly flicked and got one photo and then waited for it to take off, and it didn't, so I set up the video and it flew off before I had the chance. But then I could still hear the call of the greenfinch. So I checked around the bushes and this female was over there. So I used one of the metal posts on the fence to steady myself while I filmed it in 4K crop to get in as close as I could. A few usable seconds here and there until the image stabilizer started to fight me. But they hung about for a little while. Got a couple of the female a bit closer, and then I heard them further down the path here, going south towards Southern Marsh. And I went down there and I saw a couple of birds flying to a tree, and I thought they could be blue tits, they could be goldfinch. And as I adjusted my settings, male greenfinch, and I got several seconds of the male filling the frame completely. Go up to 1250 ISO with the full frame. I'm pretty happy with that. And then they flew off south. You don't ever, I mean, I haven't seen a greenfinch down here for ages. I often hear them. I was down at the New Forest thinking, this is where I've got to go to get greenfinch. And then the other day I was out getting them in, where was I? Do you remember where I saw them in Kent? I don't, but I'm not going to waste my time with the video. But I got some better ones up here. Anyway, over by the river, great crested grebe, that's unusual to see. I usually have to go to Brooklands Lake in Dartford for that. So I did a little bit of video of that, trying to see if it would do anything interesting. And what is that? That's a crow. Got to watch out because the buzzard has been around. What should I do? I'll go to today. It's just a kind of, I'll put in the common sandpiper, which I haven't seen. It used to be a regular here for 5 years. Now it's hard to come by. It was a bit distant for photos, so I just did a bit of video of it, and it was decently close. The river had come in by this point, but I only had 2 hours a day and I had to make the most of it. Photos wise, I got this really cool picture of a stock dove flying. I mean, it's a high ISO, but I should be able to clean that up. It looks good, doesn't it? I'm assuming that because I'm talking about it before I've even done the editing. This is the power of editing. And is that, no? Crow. Yeah, it's got this buzzard. Yeah, so many crows around here. And then I saw a couple of lesser blackback gulls, and I thought, let's line them up and take a photo. But obviously if you do that, then one of them's got to be out of focus. So I went down to f9 to try and get them both as sharp as possible. And I looked at the results, and it's a bit better than it would have been if it was f9 going up to f20, sorry. When it was f20, they're both a bit more in focus, and it just looks good there. I had to wait for them to look exactly in the right direction, the same direction, because one was preening and then the other one started preening. Initially, there was one lesser blackback gull. I saw the other one flying in. I thought maybe they'll have a little scrap and I can capture it. So I just held my finger down as soon as it got close to the other one, but it didn't. But it captured actually quite a good shot, because it looks like the other gull at the back is looking at its landing and going, I could have done much better than that. There's also been a lot of linnet action. As soon as I arrived, there was some linnets. Lighting was terrible. I set myself up to get some video and they flew off, and there's been odds and ends around the river. And then I flushed some by the works over there, which is crazy because they're obviously used to that, all the commotion going on over there. And I saw where they landed, and I managed to see the back of the bird, the shade, in comparison to all the green leaves around it. And I got in as close as I could. It was close enough for photos this time. So I fired off a few shots and then switched to video to show you the video, see if there's any difference. So, I mean, that's okay. I mean, it's the first decent linnet shots I've had for a while. Obviously, you want them inside of a tree and with the surroundings not being a whiteout sky. So I'm pretty happy. That looks quite clean. I'm waiting for the summer plumage when they get that red chest. I remember posting one of my best ever performing photos on, on X, when I got the full red chest. It looked like some exotic species. I'll show you it. So yeah, stock dove, the lesser blackback gull. Even on a day like this when there's not much happening, you make the most of what's happening. On a day there's not much happening, you make the most of what's happening. What kind of language is that? Sorry. This is what happens when you do everything candidly and you don't script. I can't stand script, and I want to be more candid. I want to be able to speak better with fewer ums, ahs, so's, and all that kind of stuff, and you knows. And certainly not likes. When I sit and watch the television and someone's saying, so I was like going down like, you know, like, I was so like, I couldn't learn and I want to throw something at the screen. I hate that. And where I went all the way to Blean Woods and got Firecrest, and I thought, is this where I have to go to get them, even though I know they're in Danson as well? I got a couple in Martin's Grove. I had to go all the way up to ISO 6400 and on because they were only out during the final part of the day, typical. I'd walked around that thing in the sunlight and then they come out when I'm on my way home and the sun's going down. And I think I was using a 1/50th shutter speed, so I had to bin a lot of shots. But they still turned out okay for what they were. Obviously a full frame camera and an f4 lens would have been very handy in that situation. And Red Wing, there was a Red Wing as well. This was slightly earlier. And this moving around isn't me. I'm not shaking. I'm not holding the camera handheld. It's in 4K crop and the bird is sitting in a tree that's moving around in the wind. But considering how high up it was, in the past, I wouldn't have bothered taking any kind of video or photo of it. But I keep going on about it and on about it. But this 4K crop just gets you so much more footage that you just wouldn't have bothered with before. That wood's a great little wood. Little bit of scampering in there. So this is just going to be put in with another vlog at some point because I haven't got enough for a full one. A little catch up today. I doubt I'll see anything before I get back to my cab. I put a few seconds of it. There was a buzzard over by the river. But again, completely against the sun. In fact, when I was in the hide, I saw a raptor land on a lamppost over by the water treatment works, hoping for the sparrowhawk, but it was the buzzard. I thought, okay, well, I'm in the hide. I'll set my tripod up, put it on the 4K crop. And I said this before, it's amazing how much a hide moves. I mean, yes, it's windy today, but I'll show you some of the footage. It's completely unusable. I tried it with and without image stabilizer. It was just shaking all over the place. So much movement from a hide, annoying as hell. And I tried to take some photos of black-tailed godwits flying across the bay, going from left to right. A couple of okay ones there. Oh, and the curlew, when it took off, I didn't see it take off, but I heard the call, and then I saw the bird flying across the bay and I thought, that's it. So there's a photo of it. It's cropped in a bit and cleaned up. So even though it seem to be a quiet day, I can make the most of it. Just come out for days like this and get some practice. And you never know, you miss 100% of the opportunities you don't take. Is that the correct saying? The correct quote? I don't know who it's attributed to. Anyway. Oh, 3 Egyptian geese. No, Egyptian. Canada geese, sorry. Anyway, see you later, folks.